Earlier today, I caught up with Democratic National Committee Treasurer Bill Derrough, and now my exclusive interview with Bill Derrough. All right, I'm here with Treasury Secretary for the Democratic Party, Bill Derrough. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time.
I appreciate it, my friend. And I will say this: you guys recently came out with the better deal, you called it. Now, why didn't you guys just come out and say that you're for a minimum, a $15 an hour minimum wage?
There's a lot of misunderstanding to the problems with increasing minimum wage, so that's why we side-skirted that issue. But in America, we should have a decent standard of living for people that just work. People that work, and unfortunately we're running some blocks that are stopping that from happening.
Okay, so I went to your website, and it says that some Democrats are for $15 an hour minimum wage. That
it's
you know what I'm saying? Why don't you come out as a party and say that you're for a minimum wage increase?
There's opposition to that. There's fear. All these kinds of things to prevent minimum wage increase, because
and who are you working with? Who are you working with?
Tom Perez is one gentleman,
and Chuck
is also another one. We're trying to make some positive changes here and run into some opposition from fearful people.
Okay, what about? There's a train going by us. What about single-payer health care? What about single-payer health care?
I think it's important. I think it's important that single parents have assistance with health care. They're faced with many oppositions, many things that get in the way.
Okay, but as a party, so far you haven't endorsed it.
No. I haven't read all the statistics myself personally. I haven't read all the fine lines in there, so I'm not sure what they're pushing.
Okay. Now, Mr. Derrough, again, this is Mr. Derrough, Treasury Secretary of the Democratic National Committee. Tell me, I want to know your true feelings. Are you for a minimum wage increase?
Minimum wage increase has some dangers involved. It causes the price of everything else to go up. And that also promotes illegal labor. It promotes wetbacks. No offense, I love Mexicans, but still it does give them a better edge in the job market. So it's like minimum wage increase does increase the price of everything else, which causes inflation to go up, la 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 la, and then it gives more business to China, because they work for rice over there. They do. They work for rice, and we got to keep them hungry to keep the price of computers and cars down.
That's from the Treasury Secretary of the DNC, Mr. Derrough. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
No problem. No problem.
Thanks for taking the time. We'll see you.